All right, moving on to section 4.5. Here we're going to be talking about angles. All right, so the objective for today's lesson is that you should be able to identify and name various types of angles. All right, so an angle is formed by two rays with the same endpoint. It's these rays that make up the sides of the angle. The shared endpoint has a specific name. It's called the vertex. Angles are measured in degrees, and the symbol for degrees is this tiny O written as a superscript. Now there's three different ways that you can name an angle. One way is by using three labeled points with the vertex in the middle. The other way is by using the vertex. Now this is only possible when there is only one angle at that specific vertex. Another way you can do that is by using a number without a degree symbol, if it's given in the diagram. All right, so we're going to look at the diagram to the right, and we want to name angle 1 using 3 points. So again, this is an example of how you can label or name an angle by just using a number without a degree symbol. All right. So again, let's go ahead and highlight angle 1. So here are the two rays that come from the shared endpoint, which is going to be point B, right? So that's the vertex. All right, so the vertex for that angle 1 is at point B. Now we cannot name this angle with just the vertex and calling it angle B, because there are actually two different angles, actually three different angles that share that same vertex. Okay, so we want to name this particular angle 1 using 3 points. So the 3 points that we're going to use are points A, B, and C. So we're going to name this angle, here's the angle symbol, angle A, B, C. Right, where the vertex point is in the middle. All right, we're going to do the same thing here with naming angle 2 using 3 points. Again, we have to use 3 points because there are multiple angles sharing that vertex B. All right, so for this angle 2, naming it with 3 letters, we're going to name it CBD. All right, so going around the angle, going from point C to point B, which is the vertex, to point D, creating that angle. All right, so that's angle CBD. All right, so now we're moving on to different types of angles. So the first type are acute angles. Acute angles are angles that measure. All right, so again, acute angles are angles that measure less than 90 degrees. Right angles are angles that measure exactly 90 degrees. While obtuse angles are angles that measure between 90 and 180. And straight angles have an angle measurement of exactly 180 degrees. So one of the tools that you can use to measure angles is a protractor, where the numbers on the protractor measure angles in terms of degrees. So when you're using a protractor, you're going to put the point or the vertex of the angle at the opening towards the bottom. And you're going to line one of the ray sides along the bottom of your protractor. All right, so then you look for the other ray to see where it hits the numbers in your protractor. All right, so now you see that we have two sets of numbers here. But again, because we have an idea of what, right, certain angles look like given their measurements, right? So if we're looking at this, we're not going to say that this angle measures 115 degrees, right? Okay, if we're looking right up here between 110 and 120, right? Because if it did measure 115 degrees, then it would be an obtuse angle, right? Again, this angle does not look like it's more than 90 degrees. So therefore, we're going to look on the inside of the numbers, and here we see, all right, so that ray hits between 60 and 70. So we're thinking, okay, that angle measures 65 degrees. And that is more reasonable because based off its look, we see that this angle looks to be acute, less than 90 degrees. All right, moving on to the next page. So here we're going to talk about angle addition postulate. So very similar to what we saw with the segment addition postulate, here we are adding the measurement of two angles together to equal the bigger angle. So here angle ABC, which here again is angle 1, we're going to add to angle CBD, which is angle 2. So how would you name the angle that those two angles add up to? All right, so if you said angle ABD, you are correct. All right, adding those two smaller angles together would give us the measurement for the bigger angle in this picture, angle ABD, which we highlight it. It's this angle right here. Those two smaller angles add up to this bigger angle. All right, so let's see what you can do with example number 5, where you're being asked to rename these numbered angles using 3 points. Starting here with angle 1. So angle 1 can be named using 3 letters, angle APE. Now you can reverse the letters if you wanted to, name it angle EPA, right? As long as P is in the middle, because that's your vertex. Angle 2 plus angle 3. All right, so if we add angle 2 plus angle 3 in the picture, again, I'm using my highlighter to put those two angles together. We see which angle it adds up to. That's angle EPG. All right, finally, angle 6 plus angle 7 plus angle 1. Adding those 3 angles together, we get angle NPE. Again, when you're naming these angles using 3 letters, it is important that the vertex point is in the middle of your 3 letters. All right, finishing off this lesson here, we want to find the measure of angle ABC. Again, using angle addition, we want to make sure we set it up before we actually plug in the numbers. All right, so showing angle addition, angle ABC is equal to angle ABD plus angle DBC. And setting it up first, showing angle addition. Then through substitution, we see angle ABC is equal to 45 degrees plus 60 degrees. So angle ABC is equal to 105 degrees. All right, moving on to example 6. We are given an angle SQR is equal to 20 degrees. And angle PQS is equal to 160 degrees. We want to find the measure of angle PQR. Again, I'm going to highlight the angle that we are interested in, angle PQR. So again, we got to be careful, paying attention to the notes and the symbols that are on the diagram. An angle SQR is 20, so that's that smaller angle in to the left. But that 160 number that we see is applied to angle PQS. So they even show you with that big arc, right, where that 160 should be applied. So again, we need to be careful where we associate that 160 degree number with. Okay, so we are looking for angle PQR. All right, so since angle PQR is smaller than angle PQS, we are going to be looking to do angle subtraction. So we're setting it up as angle PQR is equal to angle PQS minus angle SQR. Again, as a requirement for quizzes and tests, for this unit, you have to show me the work. You have to show me the plan and how you used angle addition or angle subtraction to find the answers to these problems. Okay, so angle PQR, we figured is 140 degrees. I'm going to skip over to example 10, where we're given an angle ABC is a right angle, meaning again the angle measures 90 degrees. And we have expressions for angle 1 to be 3x plus 4 and angle 2 to be x plus 6. And we are looking for the measurement of angle 1. Okay, so we know that in order for us to find the measurement of angle 1, we need to solve for x. Well, to solve for x, we need to write an equation. But to write an equation, we need to show how we are using angle addition or angle subtraction. All right, so we notice that the two smaller angles add up to the bigger angle in the picture. So let's go ahead and set up using angle addition. Angle ABC is equal to angle 1 plus angle 2. And through substitution, we were able to set up this equation. 90 equals 3x plus 4 plus x plus 6. Solving for x, we get x is equal to 20. Plug that in for x, we got angle 1 is equal to 64 degrees. All right, so now let's see here what you can do with example number 11. Trying to find x and the measure of angle ABC. All right, again, through angle addition, we've got going to add angle ABC with angle CBD to make the bigger angle, the biggest angle in this picture, angle ABD. And because angle ABD is a straight angle, again, we found the letters of the angle A, B to D, that makes angle ABD a straight angle, which means angle ABD measures 180 degrees. We substitute the other two expressions for the other two angles, thus giving us an equation that we can use to solve for x. All right, so when we solve for x, we got x is equal to 42. Plug that in, and we figure out that angle ABC measures 134 degrees. All right, that's it for the lesson. Move on to the 4-5 homework.